this is such a nothing burger.
That's why we put it last in the schedule. Because if you still made it, fine, we'll throw you a bone.
Sweeping the rug out from under you. Oh, they're gonna talk about it, and then like our female listeners might be like, oh, they're gonna criticize how someone dressed or something.
So what happened here? So to preface this, I don't think you watched the Barbie movie, right, Dave?
I did this weekend, just by coincidence. It wasn't because they got an Oscar nomination.
I haven't watched it. I haven't cared about it, but apparently. So this is my understanding from just being a person on the internet, is that Ryan Gosling got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and Margot Robbie did not get an Oscar for Best Performing Actress, and everybody's upset about this. Because
actually, they're just nominated. There's no awards given yet. These are just announced who's nominated.
Oh, she didn't get nominated.
Yeah. Okay. He was nominated and she wasn't. That's it. What that shows, according to the internet and according to Time Magazine, Time Magazine, the New Yorker, and several other spots, that this is clearly an example of why patriarchy, the subject of the Barbie movie, the bad guy that is in the Barbie movie, right, is the patriarchy, is real in our world, right? And it demonstrates all of the things that the feminists have been talking about all these years.
But what about? I don't even know which actresses did get nominated for things. Like, what about, there are actresses still getting awards for things.
Well, there is
the story is they eliminated all actresses.
Only men can get awards here. Is that what we're doing?
Hollywood, the most liberal institution, most progressive institution in America, is like, nope, we're just going to give all the awards to dudes now.
Well, that's an important thing. Remember about a year ago, wasn't there a bunch of guidelines? I think it might have been for the Oscars of who can get awards. And they were I
forgot about that.
In order for a movie to be able to be eligible for an award, they have to meet this certain criteria. And it's like, you have to have a certain amount of people with disorders in the movie. You have to have a bunch of, and they would list out you need to have a blind person. You need to have it was this whole list that they put out. Right. I can't remember if it was the Oscars or if it was some other award people, but it was if you want an award with us, here's the criteria that the movie has to have.
Well, there's just so many directions to go with
a
this.
year ago.
I remember what you're talking about. I mean, that's an interesting way to integrate this with that story, right? Because it is the whole movie is nostalgia bait for chicks.
And to sell toys.
Yeah, right.
Well, I was going to ask,
it's not really for children. It's not really a kid's movie. It's
nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, it's more for adult women,
which is all any of our movies are anymore. And it's nostalgia for Gen Xers and above. That's what it is.
Well, it's the same exact thing that has happened with Spider-Man, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They all come back around. Now those generations are parents, and they're like, oh, I want my kids to grow up with the same nostalgic, cool thing that I grew up with. So of course it's going to sell toys. The parents are going to buy the toys for the kids because they want them to have the same experiences as they had. I mean, you see it with Spider-Man. Granted, that's still a franchise. It's still popular. It's in movies. TMNT, same exact thing. They're all just coming back for their last or next scoop into the pocketbooks of Americans.
That's the purpose of these shows. When Transformers came out, the reason why the Transformers children animated show was because we have these toys and now we're going to build lore around them to get people more involved with the brand.
Well,
right?
And that's what's so strange about the Barbie movie, right? Are you guys aware of any Barbie cartoons?
No. But I'm neither a cartoon watcher nor a Barbie fan.
Yeah, but you would know about Transformers.
Well, I actually didn't. But G.I. Joe for sure.
I watched Transformers when I was a kid, right?
This is a little out of your guys' time.
Yeah, it was maybe before.
Right. But, so there was Barbie cartoons, I'm sure. But the point being is that there's a very clear, and this might be just a bunch of dudes talking about it. So
it was a marketing play. It's a marketing play of the TV shows. Yeah. It's not even, there's not even necessarily a concern about it making money because it's about selling the toys.
The question is if you were, okay, so let's just
on those back
thought experiment. Who's Donatello?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
What color is his bandana?
I don't remember.
Purple. I'm gonna say red. Damn it, I was close.
I forget which one's which.
Bro,
I don't know.
And he's the nerdy one. That's Donatello, right? He's the nerdy one.
I forget which turtle's which.
I was never really a big TMNT.
Me neither.
The thing about Ninja Turtles is that each one follows a personality archetype, right? And so Donatello is very clearly he's the nerdy one, right, out of the group. If you were to say there's a movie and it's a Ninja Turtle movie and it's a great box office, and the person to Donatello, you were going to make the case, why should he get the nomination? You'd probably say he did the best job at being the Donatello that I expected. He fulfilled my expectation of Donatello, and he was nerdy in the right ways, and he was a good ninja and a good turtle, right?
He's a good
What
turtle.
is that for Barbie, though? Like, what does that mean? What is that for Barbie? Like Barbie has no clear identity. Barbie's like, and then in fact, the movie actually plays on this. Barbie's like this compression of a collective, right? It's like Barbie can be anything by nature. So how do you say Margot Robbie, like the woman who should have got Best Actress, that they're complaining about not getting it, as an example of the patriarchy? What could she have done to better act as everybody and nobody at the same time? Does that make sense? Like she's kind of put into a tough situation as an actress to win an award for doing like an amazing job, right? But then King got it, and he's also literally nobody. He literally has no personality. Like he's just an object for Barbie. So it's a very strange situation here where I don't really understand what the criticism or objection.
The purpose around the toys themselves is that you're supposed to have a generic figure that can fulfill a bunch of roles, so that you can sell multiple variations of that figure, right? So you have a clear female protagonist that can fill multiple roles, and you have a clear male protagonist that can fill multiple roles. Like that would be the strategic factor on the toy sales itself.
There's also some of the social science here. Little girls tend to play as dolls as them being the dolls, right? While little boys with their action figures tend to take on the personalities of the action figures, right? So the personality goes opposite direction. So little girls tend to be like, I'm now Barbie, right? And then the little boy's like, I'm He-Man, you know? Like
how is that different?
Well, so Barbie's now me. I'm now He-Man, right? Like He-Man maintains his character from He-Man the cartoons, while Barbie becomes like a reflection of that little girl.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
At least that's a study I read.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that is interesting because of the amorphousness of Barbie, where she can fulfill a bunch of different roles. This is like, that's cowgirl Barbie, and that's like diva Barbie, or whatever. I don't know what the Barbies are like,
right.
but He-Man is He-Man.
Yeah,
right? Like, that is an interesting thing.
Regarding the movie specifically, though, I mean, I wonder how much it really matters what the general public felt about how Margot Robbie did or how Ryan Gosling did in their roles, because really, that's not who selects the nominees. This is all amongst the Academy, right? This is all your fellow actors and actresses and, other industry professionals. So
also noting that Ryan Gosling is not competing against Margot what's her name?
No.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. No, these are two different categories.
Him getting a nomination has nothing to do with her getting a nomination.
Yeah, he's competing like Benedict Cumberbatch, like his competition's some guy from some other movie, not her.
Yeah.
So why is this being compared? Well, at least one fact that seems to keep getting noted. Barbie got 8 nominations for the Oscars. 8.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
What they're mad about is that they just didn't get Best Director or Best Lead Actress. That's what they're mad about. And Ryan Gosling did get a nomination for supporting male, right? Is that right? Or lead male?
Yeah, supporting, I think. Supporting actor.
Yes, best.
Ken is the
supporting actor. Well, so I guess my question is like, and this is, I am the last person you ever want to listen to commenting on movie stuff, because I'm not a movie guy. But like, what was the caliber of the other actresses who were nominated?
Yeah,
were they amazing performances?
Exactly. Or was the caliber of the men? Maybe the men just all sucked this year. Maybe it was just a bad year for male actors, and this is the best we could do. And so this guy got it. Like,
well, and also it's supporting actor versus best actress, right? So like they're two different classes of awards.
Yeah.
So Ryan Gosling is like, B tier if you want to put it that way, and Margot Robbie's vying for A tier. So it's like, what? I'm sorry, what?
I don't know. I literally just typed in Margot Robbie on Twitter, and I'm just scrolling through what I find. And I came across an article that says Ryan Gosling says he is 49% woman.
And then the other
women
title.
are better than men.
Oh, geez.
Women are better than men.
Classic.
Okay. Is this his publicist saying like, you need to get ahead of this right now? Put something out.
No, this was published in June 2nd, 2016.
Virtue signal.
Okay, so he was ahead of his time.
So I think
this is probably Me Too movement era, right?
Oh,
could that be that?
Yeah, maybe. But I think we've torn out this thread enough to demonstrate that it's all bullshit.
And that we have no idea what we're talking about on this subject?
The whole thing is a giant grift.
We
right?
don't need
Like,
to know what we're talking about because there's nothing here.
all you have to do is just know the facts that one, Hillary Clinton's tweeting about it, so therefore it must be something specious going on.
And Hillary said, well, let's just do the Hillary Clinton tweet here. Greta and Margot, well, it can sting to win the box office, but Well, it can sting to win the box office, but not take home the gold. Your millions of fans love you. You're both so much more than Kenough.
And that's from the Kenough is from the movie, and it's like he's Ken, and then the story arc of Ken is Ken goes from being a simp to becoming the patriarchy, to then realize that he doesn't actually like leadership and being a patriarchy, to realizing that he's enough. And Kenough.
Just the way he is.
Yeah, just the way he is.
Being a simp.
I will say we have been requested to do a Barbie movie review in the past. This was a request that came into us.
So there's a lot of interesting things from a male-female feminism point of view on this, right? For example, the Barbie movie itself has a whole feminist narrative to it, right? Barbie goes to the real world. Ken goes to the real world with her by like sneaking aboard, and then he discovers the patriarchy, and he's like, I want to take this back to Barbie Land, and then he does, and then he takes over Barbie Land, and that's the story arc, right?
This Hillary tweet though,
yeah,
is this her alluding to like what she raised more money than Donald Trump, but she didn't win? Is this her like trying to relate, or something?
That's what I read out of it.
She won the box office, but she didn't take home the gold.
Well, in this case, it's basically saying you should have won the gold because you won the box office, right? Which is not true. Like all the time, there are major box office hits where the lead actor doesn't take.
Well, again, they're two different cohorts. The people that vote for nomination are the Academy, and the people that vote in the box office are the public. So it's not the same.
Right. So there are interesting like cultural commentary you could do about the Barbie movie, and we won't get into that today because you two need to watch it. And then
yeah.
But
I won't. But
this is a great example of the "trust me, I'm lying" phenomenon. The more you tear at it, the more you realize it's all bullshit. This is the whole thing, and it's all generated to get people to talk about it. Right, which we are feeding into for a reason, for a purpose. And that is to point out that this is bullshit and that this is all grift, and the "trust me, I'm lying" phenomenon, where what they say is they make a claim, proves the patriarchy, and a bunch of women who are feminists will click on that link and be like, yeah, you're right, you're totally right, we're victims. And then a bunch of dudes are going to be like, no, this is stupid, and they're going to do the same thing. And then the Oscars suddenly actually has an audience because no one goes to the Oscars or cares what happens there.
Right. And for good reason, because it's all bullshit.
Well, this isn't the first time.
Well, they used to. The weird thing is that we don't anymore, to be fair. Sorry, Kyle, but that's the weird thing, is that it's taken a freaking nosedive. Why?
Well, along with a lot of other legacy media institutions. I mean, the NFL's ratings have been down for several years.
There's more competition for our eyeballs now. Mm-hmm. Like that's what. For several decades there was just movies that everyone went and saw. And that's no longer really a thing anymore. Like there's not like these centerpiece movies or these centerpiece actors anymore, because everything's become so decentralized. Like there's just a handful of bands that everybody listened to. Now it's like you go on Spotify or YouTube Music or something, and you're just like, you're inundated with, there's like very popular artists that you've never heard of before. And there's like a whole genre around that. And I'll go to you, Dave, and you'd be like, I have no idea who that is. Right. And you're like, well, this person gets millions of views. Like you can just do that now. So like the Academy Awards, it's just like or like any of these Academy Awards for anything. It's just like we all have such different interests now. Like we've decentralized our attention.
I agree with that. And it's, a beautiful thing, and it's also a difficult thing because it creates competition for eyeballs, but it also allows for a show like ours to, matriculate up through the attention of people, consuming our content. But I think there's a secondary factor here too. The Academy Awards is an extension of the global elite. And now more than ever, Americans and people around the world could probably give two shits less what the global elite think is cool. In fact, it's now cooler to think the opposite or to care about the opposite. So there could be that factor playing in as well.
It reminds me of the last time anybody seemed to care about any of these award ceremonies was when Ricky Gervais was doing his stand-up routine, hosting, what was it, the Golden Globe Awards or something?
It might have even been the Oscars. I can't remember exactly.
I can't remember.
Something like
where he's just like laying into these celebrities, where he's just talking about like, you're going to get an award, you're going to come up and give a speech. Nobody cares about your politics. Right? And he's just and then he'll be like, and he's making Jeffrey Epstein references on there and stuff. Like, that's the last time anybody really cared about
Actually,
them,
technically
right?
the last time was when Will Smith got slapped.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. That's the last time anyone cared about the Oscars.
It was the 2020 Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had another point. I forgot what I was going to say. I lost it.
Obviously not that important. No one cares what you think.
True.
Sorry.
That was a good episode, guys. I liked it. Yeah.